Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. So I don't even think there should be any conflict between going to therapy and doing ruqya. Okay. So when I work with Muslims, I actually, if they're open to it and I feel like, they want that Islamically integrated treatment approach, I have them read Surah Al-Baqarah alongside their treatment with me. And I ask them, can you finish it in one day? Can you finish it in 3 days? If not, can you finish it at least once a week? And because there should be no conflict between, I think they should always go hand in hand. Allah is a Shafi, and so you cannot heal without Him. So it's like the same thing with like physical wounds. You have a physical wound, or you have a physical disorder, there's no conflict. You go to the doctor, you go through the treatment process, and at the same time, it should be a means to you accessing a Shafi himself. You understand that I'm doing my part, but Allah is a Shafi, and I am going to increase in my Quran. I'm going to read. In fact, a lot of people, when they get sick, it becomes a means to them reading more Quran, doing more dhikr, connecting to what is shifa and wa rahma, right? It is the Quran is a healing and a mercy, right? So how can we heal physically or psychologically without a shafi? How can you heal without the Quran? It's like, to me, it's like, of course, I'm on a healing path. I need to incorporate the Quran, and without that stigma of, oh, something must be wrong with me spiritually, that I need this, because there's a stigma with ruqya, I think. And I think that a lot of people look at it as, oh, I'm evil, or I'm possessed, or, but when you look at even the morning and evening dhikr that we do, which I really recommend that everyone engages in, at least if not both, at least the morning, right? It's a shield, it's a protection, and Allah gave us prescriptions that are designed to protect us in so many ways, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. So what I would say is that if you're struggling with any psychological disorder, if you're struggling with a panic attack, number one, take this as a test from Allah, just as a physical issue. Allah tests people, and this is something I try to stress in every one of my talks, which is that you can be tested. All of us are vulnerable to be tested in anything Allah gives us. There is nobody who has went their whole life without being tested in their mental health. There's nobody. Because why? Because you have a mind. Just as, like, can anyone here, anyone listening, can anyone say that they've never been tested with their physical health? Can anyone say that? No, absolutely not. No one. If someone told you they went their whole life and they've never been tested with their physical health, you would not believe it. They must have gotten a headache. They must have gotten fatigue. So there's levels, right? It doesn't mean that you have to have cancer. May Allah preserve everyone's health for you to be tested physically. Same thing with mental health. All of us get tested with our mental health. There's nobody, from the shiyukh, from the best of people to just all of us, right? And so look at it as, okay, Allah is testing me with this. I'm gonna lean into the test. Ya Allah, Alhamdulillah for this test. And Ya Allah, help me. And Ya Allah, you are a Shafi. So this Ramadan, I want you to really just direct and direct and dedicate this struggle to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I want you to think of it this way. Ya Allah, here, you are a Shafi. I cannot heal without you. I cannot find alignment without you. And this is the perfect month to start a regimen of ruqya, or just Surah Al-Baqarah. Surah Al-Baqarah is so powerful. I could do a whole lecture on, I could talk endlessly about the power of Surah Al-Baqarah and the miracles that people see from Surah Al-Baqarah and istighfar, right? But so just do it hand in hand is what I would say.
And can I just add, because mashallah, barakallahu fiki, Dr. Marwa, that I've met many people who've been going to a sheikh for ruqya for some time, who do read Surah Al-Baqarah on a daily basis, and yet they don't find that they are finding comfort or healing. They do, of course, in some ways, but they're not finding the full healing that they're seeking. And sometimes you just need to work with a different therapist who has a different approach. Like, not every therapist is going to be the right one for whatever you're going through. And if you've already been working with them for some time and you're not finding a solution, which is what I think I understood from your message, then maybe work with Dr. Marwa, or maybe work with another therapist who can help address your concerns. Because I know that therapists are also trained in different approaches, and they all have different trainings, and not everyone will work for your specific situation. What I think I hear a lot of, and what concerns me, is that sometimes someone takes every possible means they can from a spiritual space and they're not getting better. And so they feel like Allah has abandoned them.
Yeah.
And that leads them to an even worse place on a spiritual level, on an emotional level, in every capacity. And first of all, keep doing the spiritual part, which Dr. Marwa said, increase the spiritual part. And also, like you mentioned, hand in hand, find someone who can, inshallah, help address that.
It is unbelievable how much we function in extremes, and where people feel like they either have to do one or the other. It's more with the psychological the stigma in our community and the way that people are programmed. I still of course we've gotten so much better, but when I first started this work, it was like it's almost like they felt like they had to choose either faith or navigating psychological challenges, whereas no, you could have iman and still navigate it. And that's the thing. It's like imagine someone just reading Surah Al-Baqarah and not going to and having a physical wound and not going to a physical doctor. It should be as normalized to go to a therapist, a qualified one, and one who is clinically trained. I cannot emphasize this enough. I have a big issue with people who are not clinically trained, giving people, claiming to heal trauma and telling people about trauma, and they have never been clinically trained. They've never been supervised in their training. They haven't, it's not just about the education, it's about you have to be trained. And there's, like Sheikh Hamaniam said, there's different qualifications. So I just try to remove that conflict, I would say, between the two worlds. Learn that faith can sit right next to your struggle, physical or mental health, and the prescriptions of faith can sit right next to you doing the work of going to seek out the right treatment that fits your struggle, right?